This is not a time. I don't see Peter Obi as a politician. I see him as an administrator. I see him as a service provider. There are people who play politics with Nigerians, and that's why what has gotten us to where we are. At this period of our lives as a nation, we cannot go the way we've been going with people playing politics with our lives. So in this part of our lives as Nigerians, we must ensure that we have a man who has character, competence, content, commitment. And all these ingredients are what Peter Obi. He is the flag bearer who is the brand ambassador of Labour Party now. In fact, every other thing we're going to say in this 1 hour, 45 minutes, Peter Obi has said it. He is the face of Labour Party. He has sold himself to Nigerians. And the beautiful thing about the Peter Obi candidacy is that Nigerians have come to believe in him. They are the ones who are speaking for him. He speaks less. He has been able to sell himself. And that's what we're asking other candidates. We don't want to have you speak through your spokespersons. Speak to Nigerians. Let them see who you are. I'm not one of those who will tell you that it's about age. No. The President of the United States, Joe Biden, is 78. It's not about age. It's about capacity. It's about competence. So it's not about age. It's about this period in Nigeria. What do you have to offer? Do you have the economic intelligence to be able to redirect our economy, which is in comatose right now? Can you, as a president, unify Nigerians? Because one thing I will say on this program is that we have never had it this bad. Nigerians have never been divided. And then I first of all verified. I'm on the first March 1962 on an internet I know how to ask it. So it took according. I cannot change it before. I might change it. Simple. It took according.
O Kanayo O Kanayo. Hey, and where I hear the what I hear for the recently, you just to bachelor no declare your interest and support for Mazipito. They do not understand it. Kedi femelu iji we feel no time iji declare such interest.
Okay, very straightforward. Oh, it is where going and it appealed to me. Now 2021, because we must start from the root of how it has been. I contest going for political office, House of Rep in 2011 and then 2019. But now 2021, I said, now for justice, fairness, and equity, no more refer Southeast Nakaromelo, Nigeria. Not the Southeast, where Gabo, president of Nigeria. As at 2021, I didn't care whether the person was going to come from PDP or APC or ABGA or Labour Party. It was not my business. As long as Onyawabu and Igbo of Igbo extraction see from the Southeast. Una afuno case we bamba APC enyo oni Igbo, PDP enyo oni Igbo. So we kwalkwe. So my following for Peter Obi, but from that premise that only Igbo, unwere ife ndi Igbo na Karomelo Nigeria, unwere ife ndi Igbo me Nigeria ejina edina ifa presidency. So it was bent on that my followership for the man called Peter Obi is still standing. And then, on the other hand, I know the man. Melo, there's something that happened between Gani Fawemi, God rest his soul, and Tony Momo when Gani was alive. Gani was on an interview and said, I know Tony Momo. He was a minister then. It was then, before I even read law, that I know that knowing somebody,
yes,
knowing somebody is different. You must know somebody. Maybe Imalebo Jalako, Imala to his father's compound, you know him. Knowing a man is different. So I know the man, Peter Obi. Let me give you a little example. In 2011, passed on and had written some governor friends. He was governor then. He got my letter 2 weeks after. He still called me about 1 a.m. to say, I just got your letter and the burial has passed, but my condolences. Then 2016, I lost my only brother. He came to my village to attend to the funeral. Then 2017, he came to open my house in the village. So I know Peter Gregory Obi personally. And we used to belong to the same socio-cultural organization called Aki Kenga. You know, so it's a man that I can define in very few words. As humble, as a man who has a listening ear for anything. And he has the character and competence Nigeria needs at this critical time. We have come to a time in the history of Nigeria where we must stop playing politics. This is not a time, I don't see PETER Obi as a politician. I see him as an administrator. I see him as a service provider. There are people who play politics with Nigerians, and that's why what has gotten us to where we are. At this period of our lives as a nation, we cannot go the way we've been going with people playing politics with our lives. We are at a crossroads. We are at a precipice. And before it snaps, we must ask ourselves, what do we want? It is a shame that in a man who has lived for 70 years is still complaining about no clinic in his village. And somebody every 4 years comes to make promises about putting a clinic there or water. These are given. And that's why for me on this interview today, my major take on who we should elect as president should be predicated on Chapter 2 of the Constitution, sections 14 to 18, paragraph 2b, which says, what is the primary responsibility of government? Welfare and security of the people. That a governor comes in and pays salaries, arrears. Governor has not achieved anything by paying arrears of salaries. It is what a worker deserves his wages. So most people, unfortunately, we have most of our populace is uneducated. So Onye thinks the governor has law. No. Do you hear it in America that the governor provided pipe-borne water here, or that he built this? No. Security and welfare of the people. So in this part of our lives as Nigerians, we must ensure that we have a man who has character, competence, content, commitment. And all these ingredients are what PETER Obi. He is the flag bearer who is the brand ambassador of Labour Party now. In fact, every other thing we're going to say in this 1 hour, 45 minutes, PETER Obi has said it. He is the face of Labour Party. He has sold himself to Nigerians. And the beautiful thing about the PETER Obi candidacy is that Nigerians have come to believe in him. They are the ones who are speaking for him. He speaks less. He has been able to sell himself. And that's what we are asking other candidates. We don't want to have you speak through your spokespersons. Speak to Nigerians. Let them see who you are. I'm not one of those who will tell you that it's about age. No. The President of the United States, Joe Biden, is 78. It's not about age. It's about capacity. It's about competence. There are people who are 70 and are smarter than some who are 35 and 40. So it's not about age. It's about this period in Nigeria. What do you have to offer? Do you have the economic intelligence to be able to redirect our economy, which is in comatose right now? Can you, as a president, unify Nigerians? Because one thing I will say on this program is that we have never had it this bad. Nigerians have never been divided as we are today. So the first thing, even for PETER Obi, is to unify Nigerians. People have lost interest in our nation, and they are not willing to go further. They've gotten to the wall. They will bounce back.
Okay. Odogu, I'm going to ask you a very funny question. What if it wasn't PETER Obi? Just like we began this program. Because this is a political program, and I don't want us to sound as if we paid for this particular program.
Oh, sure.
Yes. So what if it wasn't PETER Obi? Is there any other candidate that you think would have made a better choice?
Are we talking about from Igbo extraction?
Yes.
Do not forget the premise I laid.
Yes.
Well, you know, the Igbos have never been short of sons and daughters. I'm not talking about sons and daughters for political office or for any other social and whatever it is. We have never been short of that. And our sons and daughters in Nigeria and in diaspora have always indicated interest. I remember the likes of the Moalos and so on, the interest, Obi and so on. We have sons and daughters who have before now indicated interest, and we still have them. So they are many. So if anyone had been cleared by a political party, don't forget, constitutionally, and by electoral act, you must run under a political party. We don't have that independence candidacy for now. So I'm not going to, on this program, begin to identify one particular person because in thousands.
Okay. Now the youths are participating very massively. Now if Basaro politics entirely, or brother na ihe Basalo Peter Obi now. Ndu are participating massively on politics in these days. As in, they can grab your clothes and tear it.
Yes.
And in 2023, on a hat with the bench so, case strategies ifilo ogabo umuntorobianye solo, then they are sure their candidate is winning.
Well, it's obvious that the power belongs to the people. And the most active people in every economy are the youths.
Yeah.
You know, when we look back and see October last year, or before October last year, the NSAS thing.
Yeah.
The NSAS was a revolutionary thing organized by the youths. And nobody called them to a meeting, but they all agreed. And so it shall be in 2023. Woe betide any person who thinks that these youths have gone to sleep.
Oh, yes.
All the strategy, the entire strategy for the youths is to get themselves closer together and ensure that the PETER Obi promise of let's fix Nigeria, a new Nigeria is possible, is articulated within their own framework to say, we will carry our PVCs and tell anybody who says shut up, we'll shut them up with our votes. We will do our own perform our own civic responsibility, and that's ensuring that when we cast our votes, we see to it that our votes count. I have said it on several fora. Voting is not done on the social media. And if the youths can use this as a strategy to ensure that their PVCs are handy, then we have won the first battle. And they must ensure, and this is one thing we are telling also the youths not to do, to participate in the 2023 elections, so much so that there will not be a runoff. Because I thought, if I will know them, they have amassed voters card, and we know that they may employ underage voting and so on. But those who have opposed the BVS as transmitting from the voting point to the point in INEC have all failed, because that is one thing the Electoral Act has come to give Nigerians, that your votes will count if you cast it. So the youths must strategically position themselves and cast their votes. Nobody should be sitting at the corner to say, my votes will not count. It is not going to be business as usual. Things have changed. Nigerians are hungry. They are angry because you cannot move from a point A to point B because of insecurity. People have been, our sons and daughters have been at home for 7 or 8 months. And it's obvious that the elite you have in Nigeria, many of your children are abroad. So whether you are at home for 1 year and so on, they don't care. Now, it has gotten to the point where everyone has been affected. People, even when you're in your house, you can be kidnapped from your house. We have never had it this bad. And if we know we have never had it bad, it still behoves, and what I said, security and welfare of the people is paramount. Nigeria has never been this divided. So we need to get it clearer, and the youths need to perform their civic responsibility to ensure their votes count, and that we celebrate on May 29th next year. If anybody thinks PETER Obi is structuralist, like they said, well, that person doesn't know that power still belongs to the people. I mean, we just saw what happened in Lesotho to teach us that those who have said up to us that they're not, their youths are not internet friendly or savvy, or that the social media is not for. No. I know, and I can tell you, there are people who are in APC, There are people who are in PDP who are obedient. In fact, they are not obicentric, they're obedient and obisible. You know, in Nigeria it's possible. We're no longer saying obedient, we're not saying obisible.
Okay. I'm going to throw a very dicey one now.
Okay.
Last week, PETER Obi wanted to include the service chief when the EndSARS happened.
Yes.
And the youths who are his supporters outrightly refused that he is not going to be part of that campaign trail. And then the same, it's not just more than a week, then the same thing almost is trying to happen again, where he wants to go and visit Gumi, you know, because we're looking for oneness in the spirit of insecurity.
Yes.
But it is also very pertinent to note that since Nnamdi Kanu no Nanga, PETER Obi has not gone to Nga to go and visit him. Now that they declared Nnamdi Kanu released, Olugo 4 days or 5, he is still there. Okanata baby as we speak. And no Igbo politician is saying anything about it. How do you feel these supporters of the obedient movements and both supporters of PDP, APC, ABGA, all the political parties around town would feel knowing that we, the Igbos, are seemingly less concerned about our own, whilst we are more concerned in the people see it as illusion of uniting Nigeria through the visit of either Gumi or through the putting of that chief of army, Buratai, into his campaign trail.
So General Enenche, not Buratai.
Enenche, sorry, pardon me. Enenche, please, can you please clear all these ends from Enenche to Gumi, then to Nnamdi Kanu?
Thank you very much. I want to tell you on this note and to our listeners, General Enenche, I think was Army spokesperson as at when the EndSARS imbroglio took place, and he had made some references to the photoshopping of the EndSARS movement and so on. You know, people have this tendency when they're serving in government to be loyal because of the rules of engagement and speak for the people, their appointees. I watched the video of General Enenche when he spoke elaborately that he has watched the country drift and is not happy about it, and that he's declaring his support for Mr. PETER Obi. Great, we applauded him. But you see, sometimes, and most times too, the sins of the past are never either forgiven or forgotten. And Nigerians are quick to remind him that, no, when the EndSARS thing happened, you didn't play a good part. And this is one thing about the leadership in Nigeria. You know, and we want it. And I think even those who will work for PETER Obi will agree, will have to be very careful about this. PETER Obi has a listening ear to everything he does. That's one of the things I know about him. He will listen to you and he will provide some solutions as to what interaction you have. So, having said that, what that shows you is that even in the government he serves, he will not support the killing of a person just to put a positive picture about his government. For instance, what I mean is this. If you remember, Deborah, who was killed, stoned to death, but in Sokoto, I think so, or Bruno.
Yes.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar shielded away from it, backed off, because he's a Muslim, not to lose Muslim votes. That is not the kind of leader we need. We need a kind of leader who will say, yes, look, I'm of the same faith with you, but I will never support any extrajudicial killing. Not in the name of religion. That was when I started suspecting that, no, we may have got it wrong here. So having said that, General Enenche has now retired. are now speaking the language of the civil populace. And the youths are telling him, no, your sins have not been forgiven. And that's the new Nigeria we want. On Shegumi, let me say it this way. PETER Obi has been the only candidate who has consulted and still consulting widely all over the world. Even when he was going to the US, the UK, and all the other parts of the world to meet with Nigerians, he wasn't campaigning. He was only consulting. It's just like I have been able to contest on 2 occasions. There's need to meet some people and say, I want to contest. And they will tell you, thank you for coming to me before you declare. He was consulting. So in meeting with Shegumi, he's a Nigerian, don't forget. No matter how, the kind of prism from which you see him, he's still a Nigerian.
Absolutely.
Whether he's had meetings with terrorist groups and so on, he's a Nigerian. And the only way to reach out to everybody is by meeting interest groups, leaders, market women, youths. And this is the strength of the man called PETER Obi. He's willing to carry a baby and listen to the baby even when the baby is just smiling. That's the kind of leadership we want. We don't want the kind of leaders that somebody will be killed. All you do is to send somebody to go and speak for you there. We want to hear our president speak. We want to watch the body language of our president. And that's what we need for 2023. The government of that. Any other thing is speculation. So this is part of the consultation. We have not heard what he discussed with him, but there's need for people. Fact of the matter is this. He is first and foremost from Afaruku in Abia State. I'm from the same Imo State. He's my brother. Up to now, he's still my brother, and we've never been this now again. So the take is that on that chapter 2 of the Constitution, which has to do with the primary responsibility of government, this government has failed. Securing the lives of our people and welfare of the citizenry. That you built a hospital in this is a thing government should do. So I'm taking it constitutionally. I have nothing against the person of the President Buhari. I have nothing against anybody who works in his government. But let us see, how far have Nigerians fared in 8 years? And the answer on the street, even when some candidates of parties are saying we'll consolidate on what he has done, the Nigerians are saying, because of what you're saying, we will not vote for you because we are hungry. I mean, let's go to the street. How much was bread? 120 naira. Bread is 800 naira, 1,000 naira now. By December, it's going to get to 1,000 something, 1,200. How much is a liter of petrol? How much is diesel? Diesel went from, in fact, one of the biggest mistakes I made was in January when we had finished enjoying Christmas, I forgot to fill up my 1,000 liters diesel tank in the village. I would have filled it up at 200 naira. That now diesel is 800. How can you balance that? How much was the dollar? It's when they came in 2015 and promised all they wanted to promise $1 to 1 naira. The naira is now 740 to $1. I mean, what we are saying here, which is very regrettable, is that the common man, still call him the common man, has never seen this kind of standard or living that has no standard. We are saying people are on the street. I just wish Nigerians can vote with anger. I just wish Nigerians can say we are not happy and we are going to show you with anger how we feel. But you see, we have a populace that people still look at the few pittance people still offer them and sell their votes. And I want to join my faith with others and declare, like most pastors have been declaring, if you sell your votes for 2023,
So guys, that's it for the video of Kanayo O Kanayo. And you will agree with me, or actually I will also, we will agree with each other. Yeah, see, Kanayo Kanayo is very, very intelligent, and everything he said about PO is definitely fact. PO is not just a politician. PO and a person will be saying, man, he actually gets sympathy, he actually gets love for this country, and him becoming the president, I believe he's going to be unifying every sector, every state, and every tribe and religion. We will live in peace, at least for the first time in history, where you see say both Hausa feed the Igbo land they safe, Igbo the Hausa land is safe, and Yoruba and other tribes. So we need a president that can actually unify the country. Not a president who will unify for south, then when they reach north, they will preach about ethnicity and religion. So just let me know what you think about Kanayo, what he said on this radio interview. Like he said, Peter Obi is not a politician. He doesn't see Peter Obi as a politician. Peter Obi is a man will be saying, man, see, this guy is good. Let me know what you think about the video, and a big shout out to you guys one time.